channel. My name is Maxwell. Quick little housekeeping note, my studio is still getting set up. I just moved into my first apartment, so it's still getting unpacked and everything. So yeah, the background is a little sparse and weird right now, but that's a temporary thing. So today is my first art market of this year, which I'm really excited for, and I'm also really nervous for, just because I'm pretty out of practice with going to art markets, considering we're like a quarter way through the year and this is my first one so far. I think my last show was I want to say it was in December or so of 2023. It's exciting because I love going to art markets. Even if there's not a ton of people, it's still always a really great opportunity to be able to reach out and connect to people. I've got a couple of fun things that I'm looking to implement into this show in particular. I'm gonna be hopefully doing some live painting while I'm there. I got some new prints that are higher quality. Yeah, this is my first market as an official business, which is weird to think about. I think that some of my nervousness comes from sort of a sense of imposter syndrome almost, because I really like my art. I think that my art is a good reflection of who I am, but for one, I haven't been doing art as long as some of the other people that I know who are in my community. And for two, since my art is kind of a reflection of me, it's scary to put it out there sometimes. You know, since my art is so personal, it feels like a personal reflection of me. It's very vulnerable for me to sit there with all my art laid out in front of me and kind of watch people's reaction to it. Granted, usually it's fine, you know, usually people either like it or they're polite about it if they don't. My anxiety is always trying to get me to think of the worst case scenario. But I mean, if you're thinking about the worst case scenario already, you might as well try to think of the best case scenario as well. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm also pretty excited. I love doing art markets. I would really love to do pretty much as many as I can this year, and hopefully take you guys along in that journey with me. I wanted to show the supplies that I bring and kind of how I get things set up. For me, the biggest part of getting prepared for an art market is just to get all my supplies ready in one place. That way they're ready for setup later. Setting up at the show usually takes like 30 minutes to an hour, so it's really important to make sure that that time is spent as best as you possibly can. So yeah, I figured I would just give my little tips here and there of how I've personally been doing markets. I started doing markets back in mid-2022. Yeah, it's coming up on about 2 years that I've been actually putting myself out there at booths and everything. I think once I get this first one of the year out of my system, I think that I'll be feeling a lot better about the next ones coming up this year. It's just that first one of breaking the ice and putting myself back out there again. But yeah, with all that having been said, I'm going to get my supplies ready and I'll kind of walk you through what all I take to the show and why. Alright, so let's go over all of this. I'll just run through it really quick, show off the things I'm selling, what I use for my display, and some of the things that I'm bringing to keep me occupied during the market in case it's slow. So first off, here are my prints. I've got them all packaged to where they have a cardboard backing and then they're in a protective sleeve. That way they hopefully don't get damaged from the time that the person leaves my booth and goes to their car. So yeah, I've got this new one here, as well as my old ones that I've been selling for a while, but they are higher quality. That having been said, I'm selling these for $15 each. That's the same price that they'll be on my website as well once that gets finished up. Then next, I've got some original works that I'll be selling. So here's one of the guys that I'll be selling. Then this fella, this one, and these two. These two are going to be on the more expensive side since they are bigger and had a lot more time put into them. So I'm not necessarily expecting to sell them right off the bat, but it would be cool if I did. These two originals are actually going to be on sale. If I don't sell them at this market, they'll be on sale at my website as well. They're on sale just because they were more seasonal. I do still like them enough to like send them out into the world, but I don't really I don't know, I just don't connect with them the way that I used to, so I'm hoping to find somebody who it does resonate with better. And then finally, this guy, I'll be selling at my normal price for these square canvases. The price of these has fluctuated a lot because they are smaller, but they are also originals, and I've been putting way more effort into these than I used to, so those are all factors. This is my sticker box. So basically I just set it up on the table like this, and then people are encouraged to, you know, look around and find the sticker that they want. I actually really love this display case because I made it myself. So this box used to be one of those art supply kits. So I like tore out the insides, put new colorful fabric on the inside, and then it was done and ready to be used as a display. These aren't something that I'm selling, but I thought I would mention. This market, this is the first time I'm doing something like this. This market, I'll have a bunch of free stickers. I'll just be setting them on the table on this dish thing that I've got. It's kind of iridescent, I really like it. So these stickers, either they're old designs that I just don't really feel like continuing to sell and make. For instance, this one is one of my very first sticker designs, as well as this one. And then some of them are just kind of B grade. So like they've got specks of dust between the sticker and the laminate. They just don't look as good as the other stickers for whatever reason. So I'll just have them sitting at like a little free dish. If people want to grab a free sticker and buy something, or even without buying something, that's fine with me, because I'm kind of trying to get rid of these. Alright, and let's move on to display. So I already showed off the sticker displays and everything. So next, something that's really important for me to have at all of my shows are display easels. So these are just a bunch of random little easel assortments that I've collected over the years. It's a video one. Got more metal ones in here. But the display easels are really important because adding dimension to your booth is, in my experience, really crucial to making sure that your booth looks visually interesting. Because, you know, all my work is super bright and colorful, but that won't really matter if it's all just laying flat on the table. Not to say that I don't sometimes lay things flat on the table, like for example if I've run out of room. Then this bin, so this probably just kind of looks like a bunch of junk, but this bin is probably the most important bin that I have, and it's just all of my practical things that I need to have. So, you know, I've got the display easels in there, the ones that'll fit, but I've also got tape, I've got index cards to write out my products and how much they cost. I've also got scissors, and I've got markers for the display board that I usually have propped up. So this is where I usually write out my Instagram, my YouTube, and then soon this is where I'll write my website as well. Try to direct people towards there. But yeah, so this bin is really important. I really like just having all of my important stuff just all in one place. This is actually also part of the display. So this market will be indoors, but the reason I have this little cutting board is because when I'm at outdoor markets, the wind likes to take my stickers away. So what I like to do is I like to just put that on top, and as you can see it says open and see, and that way people are still encouraged to like lift this up and see what kind of stickers I have. Like I said though, this particular market is inside, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. I'll be bringing my paint supplies to do some live painting. Yesterday I built an easel, so hopefully that will be a good way to be able to do some live painting. The nice thing about live painting at shows is that number one, it can create engagement, because, you know, if you're just sitting there at your booth kind of staring at people, even if somebody likes your art, they may feel intimidated by like talking to somebody. So I've discovered in my experience that live painting kind of bridges that gap a little bit. Then the second cool thing about live painting is that if it's not a super busy market, which happens sometimes, then, you know, at least there's something to keep you occupied and keep you from sitting there in despair. So yeah, I've got my Posca pens, I've got some acrylic paint, my paint palette, I've got my gouache, I've got paint brushes, I've got some mini canvases. Also have some work in progresses that I'm currently working on. I have a video that's coming out. I'm not sure if this video is coming out first or if it's coming out after this other video, but I have a video where I'm kind of starting to work on those WIPs more. So this is one of them, then here's one. And then finally I've just got a big blank canvas in case I get the idea to start something new. But yeah, so that is it. Aside from my big easel, my table, and my chair, that's all the stuff that I'm bringing to the art market. So yeah, I am still really nervous, but I'm more relieved now that I have things put together. So yeah, I will see you guys at the show.
No room to go slower. You do it today, you do it again in a week. You're a fake, you're a freak, you're a parasite sucking a leech. Come on, man, it's over. Yeah, it's over now. What a waste of time. What a waste of time.
Alright, so it is the next day after the market. We're in the living room because my legs hurt and I really don't want to do a lot of walking or moving around today because my body is in pain. But yeah, I just figured that at the end here I would debrief a little bit about how yesterday went. So yeah, first of all, the market went great. A little bit slow at times, but a lot of people did show up. I did make a few sales, nothing crazy, but I did make up the booth fee that I paid in the first place. So that's always my goal with markets. So yeah, mission accomplished there. Some things that I would like to do next time. My partner ended up coming with me this time, and if he ends up coming along next time, then we'll probably have some of his art up as well. This time it was just a little bit last minute. I am really glad that he ended up coming with me for this one though, because I was very nervous. You know, I think that some of that imposter syndrome that I was talking about earlier in the video, I think that a lot of that was getting to me. Even though I have experience with doing markets, there's still a lot of me that worries about how I look next to other artists, because I feel like the other artists in my community feels like their work is more serious than mine is. It's more practical or has more of a straight up and down utility that I don't really feel like my work has. I mean, I would say that the purpose of my work is just to make people feel a certain way. Usually it's to make people happy and to brighten up their space. Living in the world now, it's like, is that enough? Is it enough to just want to make silly stuff? It's like, I like my art. I feel like my art is pretty accurate reflection of myself. It's just kind of difficult to feel that way when I'm comparing myself to other people. So I try not to do that as best as I can, but especially when I'm in the physical, real world, looking around at other artists' booths, a lot of them are older than I am, so they've had more time to make their setup look clean and polished and, you know, have their branded stuff and branded tablecloths and whatnot. And I'm really glad that I share a community with these super talented people. Not only talented, but also like hardworking and kind. It's scary to some extent because I'm aware that my stuff is different and that I myself am different. Which, I mean, it's always been that way for my entire life. I've been different in various ways. That's never stopped me. I know that it shouldn't stop me in this space that I'm at now. My partner was very helpful in getting me to the event as I was driving and panicking and contemplating what if I just didn't show up. He was very helpful redirecting me and being like, you know, you have a space here. And that was very important for me to hear. But it was also very important for me to allow for input from other people. Some people just walk on by and they don't really look, and that's fine because, again, it's a taste thing. I understand that. But some people do come by and they do talk to you. If I even have one interaction like that at a show, I consider it a success. And I had quite a few interactions like that where I feel like I made a great connection with somebody, whether or not they bought anything doesn't really matter to me at this point. Obviously, in the future, I would like to be able to support myself using my art, but for right now, I'm still gathering my bearings. So it's really, it's really encouraging to make those connections with people. So yeah, that's definitely something that meant a lot to me yesterday. If my partner comes next time, I'll have his stuff along my stuff. But yeah, and then I think another thing that I would like to do differently next time is bringing blank canvases. More blank canvases to the show would be great. I had been working on my WIPs that I showed earlier. I worked on those quite a bit throughout the show. Was about, I think it was like 5 hours long. So yeah, I definitely had plenty of time to work on those. Something that was difficult for me with that was that easel, you're painting like this instead of painting like this. So I'm used to like painting like this. So having to like sit upright and like paint this way, it's still something that I'm getting used to. So working on those WIPs was kind of difficult because I think I was feeling a little bit self-conscious because I was surrounded by people who had painting experience and I was like, am I doing this right? That kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit on that. Not that I felt like anybody was actually judging me, it's just my anxiety. But once I started working on a blank canvas, I felt a lot better because I felt like I was really in my element of just throwing things together. That sounds like I'm not putting a lot of work into it, but that's just kind of my style of painting, is that I just start with a very simple concept and then expand outward from there. So yeah, once I started work on that blank canvas, I was just off. So yeah, I would definitely like to, I think next time, instead of focusing so much on completing those WIPs, I think that I will save the WIPs for when I'm at home working and then bring the blank ones to the shows. I think that's what I've learned with that. But yeah, other than that, I think it went great. Setup went great. I had a lot of fun talking with the other artists and with the people who came out to the show. I struggle sometimes with my own social anxiety, worrying that I'm like weird or off-putting. To tell you the truth, I worry about that a lot just with videos. When I'm editing these videos, I'm very aware that I have kind of a flat affect. And I believe that my videos will find their way to people who resonate with me, and if they don't, then that's okay and I'll figure it out. But yeah, I really am very thankful for the support that I've received, both in the real world and here online recently. To a lot of people, 40 subscribers isn't a lot, but for me, I didn't think I'd get past 10 for a long time, so it really does make a difference having people here. Yeah, I think that's about it. I still haven't unpacked my car from the market setup stuff, so I'll probably do that tomorrow because again, my body hurts. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel and for supporting me. Like I said, I really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. If you like my stuff, feel free to check me out on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. I kind of didn't mention that for a while because I tried TikTok in the past and didn't really like it. But now I think it's safe to say that I'm actively establishing myself on there. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram or TikTok at OddSunArt, of course. I'm hoping to have my website up pretty soon. It's been kind of hectic with moving in and everything. But yeah, I think that's about it for today. If you have any questions about market stuff, please reach out to me. I would love to talk about my experience with markets, how I kind of approach them a little bit more, especially from a first-time market seller standpoint. And who knows, maybe if I get a lot of questions, I'll make a more in-depth video about what it's like to go and try and sell at a market for the first few times. So yeah, if that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. Otherwise, I think that's all I have today. See you next time. Bye.